Alright, Brad Clark here for a Rigging Dojo quick tip. When you have a skeleton that's been bound in an A pose or just comes in and its arms are down and you need to get it to a T stance really quickly for HIK mapping or just because you want to switch it to a T pose, instead of trying to manually rotate the arms and FK pose both sides to get them to a good T pose, anytime you want to manipulate an FK skeleton, simply create an IK handle. So we're going to use a single chain solver, go ahead and map from the arm down to the hand, and we'll do that for this side as well. And now we have the two handles. I'm going to group them and scale them out. So now that they're scaled out past the arm's reach, I'm just going to simply lift them up so that we can get them in a T stance. And there you go. If you really want to be fancy, of course we could snap each IK handle to the shoulder and make sure that it's actually exactly in a T stance. So I'm going to turn off the polygons, grab both IK handles, make sure my Y is active, and then simply vert snap them to the shoulder. Now that I know they're in the exact same line, I can rescale this out on X, and we've got a perfect T-pose. Simply delete your IK handles, and you are ready to adjust your character and put it into an HIK mode. And that's it. Oops, that's the mesh. Delete the IK handles. There you go. So now he's in a T-pose, ready for HIK. You can do the same thing for the legs, but that's the fastest way to get it back to a T-pose. And then one last trick I will just share with you before we go is you can go ahead and select the IK skeleton, or you can select the skeleton and right click and say set preferred angle. And so now if it's rotated back to its A pose again, you can say assume preferred angle and it will jump back to that position. So it's another way to store the rotational pose that you need that's different than the bind pose. Go to bind pose here, and then you need it to go back to T pose. After you've used the IK trick, just assume the rest angle. Now be careful with that because it does affect how the IK solver works, but again, if you're simply working with an FK system, set the preferred angle and then you can assume it. So hope that helps you out and makes this process a little easier if you get models or rigs from places that don't have a T-pose and you want to use HIK or take them to Motion Builder.